7,000 subscribers already, everybody. Welcome back. Every time I try to do it live on my phone, it's just so difficult. So let me just pop out this one real quick. Okay, wow, look at that. Last time I did the orientation like that. You can see my egg tray and stuff. That was kind of embarrassing. Some of my viewers even pointed that out. So yeah, this time what I'm doing is putting this against the door. Okay, wow. Guess people will be joining in soon or nah. In any case, I'll be reviewing all of the movies that I wish I had watched in theaters. So let me just pull up my list real quick. All right, there it is. Okay, 7,000 subs already. Wow. Like how do I adjust? The problem with this thing is I adjusted my camera against the laptop screen. So yeah, so that's the only way I can see myself, and I can see the list whatever I pull up. I have not mastered OBS Studios till now, so that's why what I have to do is I can only do live, as in the camera wise live, on my phone, and that's how I do it every time. Okay, put it right here. Okay, let's start. List of movies. So the first one, obviously, this is most of the Christopher Nolan movies I wish I had watched in theaters. So number one of them would be Tenet. So yeah, Tenet. Uh, it was released during 2020 or 2021, I forgot. But when I watched it in my laptop, as in the giant plane crash scene and the heist scene, when Washington goes, when protagonist goes and gets inside the vault. It was just so fun, so much fun. I wish I had watched Tenet in the big giant screen, because come on, it's Christopher Nolan, really. It's Christopher Nolan. So that's number one. And number two, again, back to back, we have a Christopher Nolan movie, that is Interstellar. This was obvious. I mean, Interstellar was supposed to be watched in the giant screen across the globe. It was, Christopher Nolan really had his. He makes his movies to be watched in theater, and not just any regular theater, in IMAX theaters. You know what I'm saying? So like those giant vertical, almost a square. It's not a square. I forgot the ratio. How much is it? But it's quite big. And I recently saw the actual IMAX, for IMAX ratio versus the cinematic ratio. Cinema ratio is what, 21:9. Like this is quite long. It's quite wide. But IMAX is, you can see more of it. So it was like, whoa. So yeah, I wish I had watched Interstellar in theaters. The black hole scene, like, whew, yeah, that was a missed opportunity. But come on, Interstellar came out in 2014. 2014, I was in 10th grade, I guess. Yeah. So it was, yeah, a long time back. Okay, the third movie that I wish I had watched in theaters is Gravity. This was a given. Most of these movies are like more space related, like giant planets and giant spaceships going in. So I wish I had watched Gravity in theaters. This movie came out in 2013, and 2013, what was it? I think I just entered 10th grade. I think, yeah, 2013 I was in 10th grade. So when I finally watched it on the computer screen, they were like, whoa, like the rockets coming in, and Sandra Bullock is floating on the screen, and George Clooney, he's doing on his astronaut. That was just so much fun. It's in the visuals. And by the way, one more fun fact about the movie Gravity is that it took the director about 4 years to make that movie. 4 years to make Gravity, because everything had to be so much detailed. Everything was so much detailed. That was really fun looking at the Earth. So yeah, Gravity. Fourth movie that I wish I had watched on the giant theater big screen is Avatar. And this movie came out in 2009. So 2009. Forget where I was, but I was quite young that time, and I still remember one of the first early teaser trailer, not trailer. What do you call it? In the movies, the promos. Yeah, the promos in the TV, because back then when internet was not as big and popular, so we got all of our movie teaser trailers from the promos in TV. So I still remember those, those alien creatures flying all over, and those blue figureheads, like, whoa, Avatar, what is this, what is that? So yeah, finally when we watched it on CD, yeah, and yes, this is another fun fact. I watched Avatar for the first time in a CD. Yeah, remember those? Remember those round things? Yeah, remember the one small scratch and the whole disc is destroyed. Yes, I wish I had watched Avatar. And by the way, Avatar is the movie that made 3D big. As in, Avatar was one of the not the first, but Avatar is the movie that made 3D popular, like hugely popular. And this movie released in 2009, and that's why you'll see movies that released from 2010 all the way till 2020. It was all 3D. Everything was in 3D. Like when I say everything, not everything, but most of the movies that were supposed to be released in 2D, that also they converted into 3D. I can give you examples. Batman versus Superman. It was supposed to be 2D, then they converted to 3D. And then G.I. Joe Retaliation. G.I. Joe, it was supposed to be 2D, and they delayed 1 year to release it as 3D. So there's so many examples of 2D to 3D. And Avatar was the genesis that made this thing popular. So yeah, Avatar, man. Okay, next movie that I wish I had watched in theaters is quite a recent one. Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. Yes, I know. I did not watch Top Gun Maverick in the big screen. So I'm sorry, Tom Cruise, but I don't think he needs my money to watch his movie. But yeah, I wish I had watched it in the big screen, Top Gun Maverick. I mean, the jet scene. And by the way, this is one of the movies after Christopher Nolan that uses the, no, the what do you call that? Big, big ratio and then the small ratio. Like, remember The Dark Knight Rises, where the big screens that had the aspect ratio changed to big, and then whenever some indoor like this kind of scenes happen, and the ratio cropped back to 21:9. So Top Gun Maverick, all the jet scenes, jet fighting scenes, there's a 16:9 ratio. Hitman, hey man, I love yourself. Hey, thank you, Hitman. I'll be playing Hitman the game very soon, so stay around for that. Okay. Okay. Next movie that I wish I had watched in theaters is Captain America Civil War. Yes, I'm pretty sure you remember when this movie was released, Captain America Civil War. Yeah, 2013. Oh yeah, Batman versus Superman and Captain America Civil War released on the same year. I remember that. So yeah, I wish I had watched this in theaters, but back then, I mean, school going kid, and by the way, we didn't even have much of a movie theater in our close proximity, so we had to travel quite far. So yeah, Captain America Civil War, certainly those I still remember the first time I watched that movie, Civil War, and the airport fighting scene, and then Iron Man getting punched. I mean, I wish I could relive that for the first time in a giant screen. So yeah, so no worries. Next movie that I wish I had watched in the movie theater is The Dark Knight. Obviously, I told you, most of these movies are going to be Christopher Nolan movies, because I mean he is the genius that wants to that records his movie in IMAX ratio. So he's supposed to enjoy his movies in IMAX screens. So yeah, The Dark Knight. But you know which movie I did watch in big screen? The Dark Knight Rises. So yeah, I remember that the first opening scene where the one giant plane drags the smaller plane, and it was just. I understood then when I watched The Dark Knight Rises that okay, that's why you had to watch it on a giant screen. It was so big, as in the plane you could actually you could feel it, and that wasn't even an IMAX screen. So imagine an IMAX screen which is so much bigger, and also the ratio is like almost a square, so you can see so much of it. Like it was such a big screen. Okay, next movie that I wish I had watched in a movie theater is the John Wick series. Now, John Wick 1, it released in 2014, but I didn't know about it. Only in when I saw the trailer for John Wick 2 in 2016, because John Wick 2 released in 2017, right? So when I watched the trailer for John Wick 2, then I was, okay, what is this? And then I went back and watched John Wick Part 1, and then I realized, okay, it's such a... it's something so different and something much more entertaining to watch. And John Wick is the movie that made the gun fu popular. Just like Avatar made 3D popular, just like Christopher Nolan made the realistic superheroes popular. Similarly, John Wick made the gun fu fight scenes popular. After John Wick, you can see most of the fighting scenes, at least they try to be more authentic. And one more thing, which movie was it? Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne, that movie made the shake cam, popular, and that's why, yeah. See, everything is related, right? It's so interesting. It really is so much interesting. So, Jason Bourne part three, I think. Bourne Ultimatum, yes, the Bourne Ultimatum. The director of that movie, he made the shake cam popular, and that's why all the movies after Bourne Ultimatum, it had the shake cam effect. So everything, you just go back, look at history. It's just so interesting, and this shake cam, it stopped with John Wick. So when people watched Keanu Reeves doing all these stunts, and the camera is just still, it's still. And back in Jason Bourne Ultimatum, when he was around, like Matt Damon doing all these scenes, he's a good. I mean, he can do some of his stunts, but the problem was that most of the other actors, they couldn't. So that's why they used the shake cam technique to make it look like, the actors are doing something. So yeah, that's really really interesting. So even Batman Begins, the look at the fight scenes in Batman Begins. It has shake cam, but the vehicle scenes, I think the Batmobile, and whenever the car is going up and down, and even a giant semi truck flip, you can see everything. It is so stable. So that's the thing. It's so interesting, isn't it interesting? So even Christopher Nolan could not do the authentic fight scene, but he can do all these larger than life, action scenes. It's really mind blowing. It really is mind blowing. So yeah, that's why you should learn whenever you watch a movie. I mean, learn something about the movie, not the plot synopsis or anything, but how the movie is made. And yeah, Corridor Crew. A shout out to Corridor Crew. They really make this thing much more interesting. Okay, enough rambling. Next movie that I wish I had watched in theaters is 65. 65 is a movie that came out, I think, last year. Yeah, I really wish I had watched this movie in theaters. So 65 is in 65 million years ago. So it's about Earth. So it has only two actors. I mean, three if you count the wife that comes. Maybe she has 30 seconds of screen time. So mainly the actor and the little girl and the dinosaurs. It was just so good. Like initially I watched this movie thinking that it will be okay, it's a time pass, let me be entertained for an hour. But when I watched the movie, oh wow, I was set. Okay, what's gonna happen, and the T-Rex comes in and all the other dinosaurs comes in. It was just so interesting. It was really interesting. Okay, next movie that I wish I had watched in the screen, in a giant screen, is Incredibles. Oh yeah, of course. But I don't even remember when The Incredibles was released, because we have watched it on TV. Yes, in television so many times that my memory is hazy as in when it the first time I watched this movie, The Incredibles. So yeah, Incredibles. Incredibles 2, it was fine. I mean, not that it's a bad movie by any sense, but if I had to go back in time and watch one of the Incredibles for the first time, I would still pick Incredibles 1 to watch in the big screen. So yeah, that's that. Okay, next movie we have Mad Max Fury Road. Yes, the director of this film, he went to the desert. He actually flipped those vehicles around, those fire pyrotechnics and everything, and the sandstorm scene. If anybody remembers the sandstorm scene, that was really epic. It was so epic. Tom Hardy in the front of the car, and everything, the sand and dust and lightning strikes. It was just so much fun. It was really fun, and the action scenes in this movie last for more than 10 minutes plus. Like the semi trailer is coming from this way, and the others are coming from this way, and so many things happening. It's all around, like at the front, at the back, left, right, everything at the top. It was really entertaining to watch Mad Max Fury Road. So yeah, that's something. Okay, next movie that I wish I had watched on a giant screen is Avengers. Avengers released in 2012, and I think I was in the ninth grade. Yeah, 2013 I was in 10th grade. 2012 I was in the ninth grade. You should post React content. Yeah, I do, Hitman. I do post React content. I have not reacted to some newer content, but I do want to. I do want to, and I will. So yeah, this is a live stream that I said I would. So I'm here. So it doesn't matter if only three people join in or 1,000 people join in, because when this video will release, it will still be as a video. So I have to be, I have to keep talking. So yeah, Avengers, man. Yeah, it was such a big phenomenon back then when Avengers first started, 2012. All these superheroes from different movies coming in and joining. It was an epic. So Avengers and Avengers Endgame, like these two movies, I really wish that people should have watched, or rather, if they didn't, it was a phenomenon. It was an event. Yeah, that's what it was. It was an event. So Avengers Endgame, I did watch, and I'm proud of that. But Avengers One, I wish I had watched in the theater. Okay, next up we have Pacific Rim. This movie, man, I still remember watching it on my computer screen, and still I was like, ooh, giant monsters, giant robots coming in, fighting in the on land, on sea, using those boats. It was so much fun, and Pacific Rim really made the like larger than life monsters. Like, what happens if these monsters are in real life? This is what happens. Like Pacific Rim, man. You know, Godzilla and King Kong, yeah, of course they're big, they're huge, but mostly they fight in the jungle. And then yeah, Godzilla versus Kong, they did fight in the city, but I mean, it still wasn't as big and much more nitty gritty as Pacific Rim. So Pacific Rim certainly is one of the better movies that you can actually feel tensed. Whoa, whoa, giant monsters, giant robots. That was so entertaining. It was so entertaining. Okay, next movie that I wish I had watched in the giant screen is 1917. So 1917 is the movie about 1917, which is the Great War, which they call World War One. So 1914 to 1918, the First World War happened, and 1917 was, well, about 1917. And one fun fact about this movie is that it's edited in a way that it's a one shot. As it has long shots. There are so many hidden cut. I can see because I've watched lots of corridor crew videos, so I can detect. Okay, there's a hidden cut, hidden cut, hidden cut. But overall, this movie is short, short like it's in one take. So right from the moment you see the first two protagonists all the way to the end, it's like one cut. It has no this. So it doesn't have that. So 1917 is certainly a very interesting movie, and it was supposed to be enjoyed in the big screen. So whoops, I missed it. Okay. Next movie is Ford v Ferrari. Yeah. I love cars, I love bikes, I love anything fast enough to allow me to do something stupid. I stole this dialogue from Triple X, Xander Cage. So yeah, Ford v Ferrari. It was good. So many movies of this caliber, they claim to have no CGI, no CGI, no CGI this, no CGI that. But I was surprised. Even Top Gun Maverick, even Top Gun Maverick, that claims to have everything's real, everything is shot for real jets. Yes, everything is real. However, at the end, near about 90%, if all of them are CGI. It is Tom Cruise flying the plane. Don't get me wrong. It is Tom Cruise flying the plane, but it's not the plane that you see in the end movie. I think there was a very new YouTube channel that just opened. I forgot the name of it, but if I look it up, I'll find it. So he has 3 or 4 videos till now, and he really says, I think you should search "No CGI is just hidden CGI," and that's the name of the video title, and you can find that. So such a good breakdown of all these movies that claim to be no CGI at all, but they do have CGI, a lot of it. I think the only person who can claim to be the closest to using no CGI is Christopher Nolan, obviously, and even he uses a lot of practical effects, but he does use CGI. How else will you show the whole in the Inception, the train and the everything coming up? And that's why it's the joke, the meme about Christopher Nolan, that in Oppenheimer he actually detonated a nuke. changes. Yeah. Okay, next movie. Oh, we have a Bollywood. Is Uri Surgical Strike? Yes, this is the movie. When did this movie release? I forgot, but I really wish I watched this movie in theaters. Because when I saw it in my computer screen, like a small screen, I was quite moved by it. Oh yeah, Indian Army going in Pakistan and doing military operations and all the espionage and raw and intelligence and so many things, right? It's so many things. So yeah, I wish I had watched this in the giant screen. So Uri Surgical Strike. All right, next we have Fast Five. Okay, there are only few movies that after whoa, it's wobbling. There are only a few movies that after watching that I actually gave not even a standing ovation, but I actually clapped. I gave an ovation. Fast Five was one of those few movies that I actually after the end credits rolled, I was like, wow, that was a movie. That was a movie. So yeah, Fast Five released in 2011. Yeah, I remember 2011. Back then, there was no way I could have watched this in theaters because it was far away. So yeah, it is what it is. I can't go back in time now. But yeah, Fast Five and Fast Six. I wish I watched these two movies in theaters. So yeah, Fast Five and Fast Six, man. Because it was just dumb loud movie, right? And entertaining. Dumb loud movie and entertaining. So these types of movies are really good to be enjoyed on the big screen. So yeah, Fast Five, Fast Six, yeah. Okay, now we are entering the horror category. We have the first nominee, not even nominee, the first movie that I wish I had watched in the giant screen in the horror category is Annabelle. Yep, Annabelle Part One. Annabelle Part One. That movie was something. When I watched it on my computer screen, also, I was kind of. It was scary because it was scary. Annabelle Part One, man, that was scary. I don't remember most of it, most of the movie, but I remember being creeped out after watching that movie, at least for a good 2 days. So yeah, Annabelle was something really good. It really got me. I'm a horror fan, by the way. I love watching horror movies, good horror movies. Most of the horror movies are crap, but Annabelle is one of those that I wish I had watched on the giant screen. And next up we have It. Yeah, It, Stephen King's It. Now, this movie was quite a good blend of comedy and the actual horror elements of it, the scary elements of it. So yeah, it. Yeah, nothing much to say. I mean, oh, chapter one, by the way, only chapter one. Chapter two wasn't that good, but it chapter one certainly built up the tension, and then it reduced, and then you had some comedy scenes, and then you slowly build up. So it's like that. Nowadays, look at any Marvel movie. At least they try to build up the tension and jokes. So the build up isn't even there. It's like more like a flat line. So, and in fact, it's the reverse. Every time someone drops a joke, it just every time someone drops a joke, the interest level goes down. But the movie, it certainly once the scary scenes is about to happen, it certainly builds up the tension, builds up tension. You have a jump scare, and then slowly, so it comes down. And then when you get the down, then they throw jokes. That was kids throwing joke. So it was fun. It was fun. Okay, next movie, another from the Bollywood industry. We have Tumbad. Tumbad. My brother recommended me this. I think 2018, 19. I forgot. But Tumbad, when I actually watched it on my computer, like the first scenes, it was scary. It was really scary. Quite village, rural area, village. We have boats, we have farms, and it's so, what do you call it? Uneasy. It's like uneasy. It's something straight from. I don't know how city people, someone who has only lived in the city could relate to this. But since we have seen at least not so rural, like no electricity, nothing, but at least we have seen those places. And Tumbad certainly encapsulates it really well. Like Tumbad, everything is, it's not, what do you call that? It's not made of concrete, like cement concrete. Like, these walls, these are concrete, right? These wooden doors. So back then, this is about in India, 1905, 6, around that. So early 20th century. It was no roads, no nothing. Everything is done by horse and carts. It was really interesting. It was really interesting. Tumbad. Shout out to Tumbad. If you have not watched this, please watch this movie. It's called Tumbad. 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 It's a fantastic movie. Next horror movie that I wish I had watched on the giant screen is Barbarian. This movie came out, I think, last year or last to last year. Barbarian. When I watched it in my computer screen, I was scared. Like, and trust me, not a lot of horror movies really can really scare you. I mean, look, when you watch a horror movie, even though you know it's fake, so but it's about how the director, with the sound and everything, they try to scare you, right? So that's why James Wan is a very good horror director. Conjuring One, Conjuring Two, he did that. And oh, and by the way, James Wan started the Saw franchise. Wow! And you know what else James Wan directed? Fast and Furious Seven, Aquaman Two. So yeah, he's a very good director. He is a good director. So yeah, Barbarian, it scared me. At least in the first proper half of it. Barbarian was at least it made you uneasy. That's what I will say. It made you really uneasy. Yeah. Okay, so these are all the list of movies that I wish I had watched in the theaters. Now let's talk about some of the movies that I did watch in theaters, and I'm actually kind of proud of that. Oh, I got the experience to watch this in the theaters. So number one, obviously, it's Avengers: Infinity War. Avengers: Infinity War. Come on, Infinity War and Endgame. These were the two events, like big events. So I'm really proud that I did get to watch Infinity War in the screen, in the giant screen. That was fun. And by the way, whenever we have part one, part two of things like Harry Potter part one, part two, I think Twilight part one, part two, and like which was Hunger Games part one. So many part one, part two. Usually the part one and two are directly related. I mean, obviously they're related, but I'm saying ki, how many of those movies, how many of those part ones, you can just leave it, and you be satisfied that, oh, it was a good bad ending, whatever it is you call it. Because Infinity War, at the end of Infinity War, what happens? The Avengers lose, and Thanos wins, and he just sits there on the garden, and he just looks into the sunset. It's a good conclusion, even if it had ended right there. It was good, and yeah, heroes lost, oh, villain wins, and what does he do? He just goes and sit there in his farm. I mean, it was a good ending, good ending. So yeah, in Infinity War and Endgame, I did enjoy it. And Black Panther, yes, Black Panther also, I did get the chance to watch it in the giant screen. Chadwick Boseman, who knew, right? And see, this is about life. You never really know when is the next time you're gonna see anyone. Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman, he passed away. Oh, which one? I think, like, it was the latest movie that we saw him as Endgame. I think after Endgame he passed away, right? So yeah. So Black Panther, when it first came out, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Forget the fact that it was released just before Infinity War, but I did watch it because of that only. But mainly, overall, as a movie, as a movie goer, I did enjoy it. Yeah, you know. Okay, next up, Furious Seven. Yeah, I already mentioned this. I did watch Furious Seven, or Fast and Furious Seven, in theaters. It was enjoyable. Again, another loud, dumb movie, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Because you don't have to think, in these movies. You just go there and just watch it, and it's fine. Okay. Next, we have Aquaman. Oh yeah, I did watch Aquaman. Right, Aquaman Part One, by the way. Okay, Aquaman Part One. It was good. It was bad. Whatever it is, superhero fatigue. But back then, I mean, I liked it. I think I didn't want to go, but my friends dragged me there. No, let's go, let's go. So I ended up liking it because it was something different. First of all, it was James Wan. So I knew of James Wan. They didn't. So like I was okay. Let's give it a shot. I mean, nothing else to do. So the water effects, the hair, and mainly what impressed me when I watched Aquaman was the sound. As in the voice underwater, it had those reverb. It was really cool. Something really different that I have watched. Because I think in the before Aquaman, Justice League came out, right? Yeah. So before Aquaman, Justice League came out, and when Justice League came out, in the underwater scenes, Mira does this, and there's a air bubble, and they talk normally in that air bubble. So in Aquaman, there was no way they're gonna do that. So they had to talk underwater, and underwater, that the voice reverb, it still is fantastic. It really is fantastic. What a movie, man! What a movie. Okay, and the next movie that I did watch in theaters is Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yes, come on. This was purely based off of nostalgic value, and somehow I did manage. I did the goat. Scarjaron 1 2 3. Hey, what else, Scarjaron? So yeah, I did manage to protect myself against all spoilers before watching Spider-Man: No Way Home. So one of the lucky few. So I did not know there was going to be three. Although I did have a hint because in the trailer itself they showed Doctor Octopus and Green Goblin. So yeah, it was a given that okay, the Spider-Mans are also going to be there. So yeah, I mean it was fun. It was fun. Okay, next movie that I'm really proud of watching in the theater is Batman. As in the Batman. So that was good. It quite dark, nitty gritty. It's not for everybody. I think I took my brother to watch Spider-Man: No Way Home, and then when Batman released, I watched them. So when I went to watch Spider-Man, the hall was full. The theater was full everywhere. And during Batman, I think there was barely 10, 15 of us in the entire hall, in the same hall. So yeah, so it was in any case naturally silent, and also on top of that, it was Batman. So it was good. I enjoyed my time watching the Batman in theaters. Okay, so next movie that I watched is, oh, I remember this, Doom 2, man. I wrote in my notes, I wrote it there, Doom 2. Yeah, it's quite an old movie, 2006, I think this movie released. And I remember I was a kid. Come on, I was a kid, 2006, I was a kid. And I watched Doom 2 in the theaters. Hrithik Roshan as the villain. I mean, that was fun. The magnet scene, the rollerblade scene. Oh, man. Nostalgia, man. Okay, next movie that I watched, this is a recent one. This Avatar 2, The Way of the Water. And I already made a video on this particular movie. I watched Avatar 2 in the most expensive theater in my area, and was it worth it? Yes, it was worth it. But yeah, I wish the screen would have been bigger. But I really enjoyed it. I didn't know that this movie was 50 frames per second, so it was quite smooth. You know, it's like some of these. Hey, before the Hobbit. Hello, hi before. Okay, so some of the scenes actually look like video game cutscenes. You know, in Avatar 2, everything was so smooth. Everything was really smooth. Okay, next movie that I did watch in theaters is Batman versus Superman. I remember exactly where I sat during Batman versus Superman because it was in the front row. It was dead front row. So I watched the entire movie like this. I watched Batman versus Superman 2.5 hours. Was like this. Oh, Batman's going this way. Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was fun. So Batman versus Superman. Although, yeah, of course, came out this. I had fun, but it was disappointing. You know, I think you can relate to that. Like Justice League, for example, it was fun while I watched it, and later on, it was disappointing. You know, like when you're watching it, it's fun, but after watching it, something is there, something is missing. Just like the Flash, I watched Flash in theaters. I enjoyed it while it was going on. One thing happening, and when I came out, I was like, like what was that, man? Bad CGI, bad. I mean, you know how it goes. Okay, okay. Next movie that I watched. In fact, last year, next movie that I'm really proud of, I watched in theaters is John Wick 4. It was really good. Like, I'm proud of me watching John Wick 4 in the theater because when that scene came up, the top angle camera, and John Wick starts shooting the shotgun with the everything, it was just so good. That was meant to be watched on a giant screen, man. It really is. So yeah. Okay, next. Now here are the list of movies, bad movies that I regret. I really regret watching it in the theaters. So first up is Justice League. Yeah, I said Justice League. So the first cut of Justice League, the Superman no mustache. I still remember it, and everything felt rushed, even in the movie theater. Again, I'm reiterating this fact. I had fun while I was watching it, but after coming in, okay, that was not worth it. It was not worth it at all. So yeah, everything felt rushed. Cyborg, Wonder Woman, did coming up quite quick. Even Aquaman in that movie when he recruits Aquaman, and he just joins. Everybody just joins quickly. I mean, it was not a good experience. Yeah. Okay, next bad movie that I had to watch on the theater is Captain Marvel. Obviously, see, back then Marvel movies, they were actually smart. So they knew that Captain Marvel is not a very popular character even amongst moviegoers. So they sandwiched this movie between Infinity War and Endgame. So people had to watch it. So even me. And by the way, this movie released just 1 month before Endgame. So there was no way you're gonna get the Blu-ray cut or the digital print. There was no way. So you had to go and watch it. Unless you pirate, of course, unless you do piracy. I do not support piracy at all. So I know it's inevitable. I know it's inevitable. People do it. But I really support the developers and the no, the originality. I support the originality. So yeah, Captain Marvel, man. Again, this is see all this. When I say bad, it's not like it's all these are bad movies at all. It's like when I watch it in theaters, whilst the movie is in real time, I was enjoying it. Okay, this is happening. And once the end credits roll, and then when I think about it, okay, what's wrong with this movie? Did I enjoy it while sitting? Yeah, it was fine. But after that, okay, no, wasn't a good movie at all. Okay, next movie is Padmavat. Oh wow. I think this is one of those movies, yeah, lots of controversy to begin with. But my friends, I think because of that, because of these controversies, my friends dragged me to watch Padmavat. Again, I'm not saying this was a bad movie. Again, I enjoyed it when it was going on. I liked Ranveer Singh's acting in it and all the old, what do you call it, ancient Indian history, the chariots. We have all these things coming in. So it was fun. I liked it. But after coming out, okay, was it worth it? It's hard to justify. Next bad movie that I watched is Jumanji 2. Wait a minute. Did I watch Jumanji 1 or Jumanji 2? I think I watched Jumanji 1. I don't even remember. But yeah, Jumanji, as in the rock movie. Jumanji rock movie. That one I did watch in the theaters. I think yeah, it was part one. I did watch Jumanji part one in the theaters, and that was something like I don't really remember much of it. Besides that, it had Kevin Hart, Rock, and Jack Black in it. That's it. That's all I remember. Okay. Next one is Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. Okay, I specifically remember watching Rogue Nation. Of course, the stunts were good. It had overall as a movie, it was good. And then what do you call it? The giant hanging by the side of a plane stunt. Yo, oh, am I stuttering? Am I stuttering? It's a video stuttering. Like, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. Oh yeah, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. So this movie, like I am from the start when Tom Cruise hanging off of the plane, that is meant to be seen on the big screen. That is meant to be seen on the big screen, giant screen. So after that, when the story, otherwise it doesn't keep you gripped. It doesn't keep you, interested all the way. And I remember like the guys behind me, they were just chatting and laughing, and they were not interested in the movie. Only when the action like the BMW chase scene, and like they were woo, they were doing this. I mean, like come on, just enjoy the movie. Yeah, Mission Impossible 5 was not a good experience simply because of the lots of chaos behind me. So yeah, that's the comprehensive list for now that I have. One more. Oh, okay, one more. I think this is the last one, and this is certainly I do regret watching this one. Is Welcome. Welcome is in Welcome the movie by Akshay Kumar. That I watched this in theaters. And it was a brain brain dead movie. It was an absolute brain dead movie. I did not enjoy that at all. So yeah, that was something that I wish I didn't go to watch. So yeah. All right, all right, all right. Now we still have some viewers watching in. Anybody, any questions? Any questions? If not, I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna end the stream real soon. Yeah, not a lot of people have joined in this particular live stream, so I'm not getting any questions, so I can't do any answers. Okay, just a few of these questions that I have marked for myself. So that part is done. Okay, so what's up going forward? What's going forward? 7K subs. Yeah, we'll do another live stream at 8K subs. Yep, do another live stream at 8K subs, and possibly before that, if I hit 3 mil subs, 3 mil views, then I'll do that again. And as for my regular videos, I'll be doing more of these gameplay videos starting. It has already started, so I'll be releasing the more gameplays. We're talking Hitman, we're talking Split Second, we're talking Dirt 5. That's something I'm really excited. And yeah, reaction videos. Yeah, I'll be doing more reaction videos. In fact, I want to watch these other YouTube channels like Dokudobri and Space Ice. I want to watch those, and I want to record myself reacting to those. So yeah, something really off the hook, and that's it. Whew! Wow, that was 7K subs live stream, man. Okay, that's it, and see you next time. Bye bye. How do I end this? This one.